Elon Musk, the Tesla billionaire CEO, just made a comment around oil and gas, pretty much signaling that, hey, people, you need to start looking at investing into the oil and gas industry, which is my message, has been kind of shouting in this channel for the last, a couple of years. Now, let's get into the details around what he mentioned, because this is pretty much in line with what, with Federal Reserve next move is going to be if you want to make sure your money is protected in the short term, because I think it's going to be some sort of pain coming into other sectors and pockets in the market. Now, the world must continue to extract oil and gas in order to sustain civilization, while also developing sustainable source of energy, Tesla founder Elon Musk told reporters at a conference in Norway on Monday. Realistically, I think we need to use oil and gas in the short term, because otherwise civilization will crumble. Point. Facts. Musk said on the sidelines of an energy conference in the southern city of Stavanger. I think we need additional exploration is warranted at this time. I hope people in this current administration are listening and listening carefully, because they want us to believe that we can just just like that, we can move and switch from fossil fuel or oil and gas energy into renewable, all right, or green energy, the wind, the solar, green, or whatever, all right. But it is just not sustainably possible and even technically feasible in the short term, because everything we are using on a daily basis, from clothing to transportation to food to construction, everything else, cosmetics, is based around oil. So to think that in the next even 20 years or maybe 10 years, you can just go from, like this, you can go from oil and gas to, green energy, I think it's a little bit, naive, not to say foolish, potentially stupid. Now, I won't use that word. But this coming from Elon Musk is pretty much fact, because think about it. In order to extract lithium, all right, lithium is the main key, is the key ingredient, the key input you need in order to have long-lasting batteries, all right? But there is not even enough lithium in the world as we know it today to supply and make sure that half of the US population is using electric cars. So it tells you that, it tells you how far the road to green energy is. But the current administration is trying to maybe fast train things, thinking that, we can just switch like that. No, we just cannot, because in order to explore all of these resources for the green energy in the car industry, for example, you still need, materials, you still need heavy machinery that is using what? Oil and gas, all right? How are we going to be using and making sure that we are properly protected when it comes to winter time all across the world if it's not using gas? Because I don't know anything else we can use. Maybe wind, but again, it's very costly. And it will take time to make that sustainable and to make that affordable to the mass population around the globe, all right? So in other words, until we get there, and it has a point, until we get there, we should continue to use oil and gas because we have no choice pretty much, but we can also start being a lot more, aware and start developing the sustainable energies in the green sector. Now, what I am reading in between the lines here as an investor is, if I want to make money, all right, the oil and gas sector is a good sector. Now, what is happening here is the market, the oil market or the energy sector as a whole is very unbalanced. Despite what you're hearing, on mainstream media, or what you're looking at the price at the pump, because these are artificial prices. Why? Because the US has really, wiped out the SPR, the sovereign petroleum reserves, but they will need to be replenished. On top of that, the price of oil is definitely not reflecting the actual unbalances in the market, meaning that we're seeing a price around 96 dollars a barrel, but in reality, it should be around maybe 150. All right. So based on this, plus you see what is coming out of the Fed, commitment to fight inflation, it means interest rate will likely go more up again and again and again until 2023. So whenever that happens, you will have money fleeing from the tech sector, money fleeing from some other sectors that are really not technically supposed to perform well because of interest rates rising. All right. So people are going to look for safe haven or sectors or stocks that are more, in favor of the current environment. And when you add, what Elon Musk have been saying now, you add, the unbalances around the market with supply and demand, it does make sense to be invested in the oil and gas, at least in the short term. And by short term, I mean the next 2 years, because not only they're providing a huge dividend, but also companies are buying back heavily those shares, meaning that you have at least a level of comfort if the stocks goes down to a certain level that the company itself will buy it back, giving you that kind of security or semi-guarantee into the share, your capital not losing a lot more value, than it should. All right. So I've been invested into stocks, in this sector for the last 3 years, and I really recommend the small mid caps. All right, these are tickers like CPE, ticker symbol like CDEV, CDEV, ticker symbols like LPI, GTE, VET, SM, MRO. Those are good companies, quality companies. Again, APA, TARGA, just quality companies that are just way undervalued right now, given where the price of oil is currently trading at and where it can go as we get into winter. So let me know what you think, and if you already have some positions, if you took some profits because of the late runs. But I do see things going, in the way, in favor of the oil and gas, despite what Elon Musk said. But it's just another catalyst to bring people awareness around this whole narrative.